Good afternoon, morning, or evening, depending on where you are. Either way, thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time viewing, you're watching a Shilly Vision AMA. This is broadcast live across a few platforms at once. That's Discord, Telegram, YouTube, Twitch, just to name a few. But the best experience is in our Discord, or what we playfully call the Shitcoin Factory. Of course, our playful name and nature is by no means a representation of the project here today. In fact, we diligently seek out only the best projects for our AMAs, and today's guest is no exception. So we're going to get right to it. My name is Shilly Wonka. I'm going to be the host. I have my faithful sidekick and producer, Ty. I refer to Ty as the golden ticket. That's his name here. He's going to make sure you guys can all see us on all the proper platforms. Ty, are you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here, Shilly. Everything's looking good. Welcome back to the factory, everybody. We've been very excited about this AMA, as it might actually be the most famous people that we've worked with yet. And I myself am extra interested, as a short filmmaker myself, to speak with some of the producers, directors, and actors from some of the biggest films in Hollywood. So I'll let Shilly finish with the introductions, but everything's great over here, and I'm excited for today's guest.
We've got A Nation joining us today. And A Nation, just a quick little blurb here, is they're going to revolutionize the film industry by bringing it on the blockchain. In my opinion, this is a match made in heaven. I'm personally a fan of innovation, blockchain, and of course movies. So this is a great mixture already in my book. And I'm being rude here. I haven't even introduced all of our guests, but I did want to mention my inner 12-year-old's really feeling the pressure of having Mr. Chuck Russell here. If you're not familiar with him, I'm a huge fan of his work. Most importantly, The Mask. That was one of my personal favorite movies as a kid. I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, I'm not going to divulge how many times I got in trouble by mocking that movie, but I watched it plenty of times. So either way, pleasure to have you here, sir. As well as we've got Mr. Cade Vu, Mr. Cade Vu here, and the Chief Marketing Officer, Joe, whom I know from another project with Affinity. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming into the studios today.
Great to be here.
Great to be here.
All right. Well, I've done my personal research. I'm impressed with you guys. Obviously, it's never financial advice, but what I really wanted to do was cover what the project is and let you guys, explain to us. So let's start from the beginning. I'm not sure who wants to answer any of these questions, so you guys can take it where you want. But what inspired you guys to create this project?
Yeah, what happened was I was in the stock market world, and I was just, buying stock back and forth, enjoying that process. And then I started kind of looking into crypto, just the way it worked and how it moved. And I started realizing that it's a lot less shady than the stock market with all the things. And for example, like AMC and GME, I was with the Wall Street bets guys, like from the beginning, like literally in the forum, front line, went at it. And then I moved over to crypto, and I started seeing crypto for what it was and what the capabilities. Because I'm a very technical analysis kind of guy, so I love the mathematics behind all the charting and stuff like that. So I got involved in crypto, and then I started seeing things that I just thought was amazing where blockchain can bring. Because I really had a big issue with our privacy getting taken from like Facebook and whatnot. So what happened was I started going to take classes, and in a way it's kind of messed up, but the truth is because of COVID I was able to do it online through Princeton and do a blockchain course that ran through for 8 months. After that I did really well in crypto. Chuck and I ended up on a film together. We talked, he brought me in to redo my voiceover. And then we got talking about it. He was talking about NFT project, and then I was talking. He was saying like, "Yeah, this project's only 6 months old," and I'm like, "Chuck, have you ever heard of crypto time?" I'm like, 6 months is like a lifetime. And then I explained to him like the technology behind it, what it can do, and he just kind of lit up. And I didn't realize like why. Like I understood why, but not to the degree of how it was until our friendship blossomed and we really got into it. I'm like, wow, this is insane. What the potential
I got to jump in here because I ended up so excited about this because in independent film in particular, which is the greatest kind of films for directors because you get much more creative freedom. Independent film is always looking for a new source of equity. So this is a real thing. This is a win-win for Hollywood and for the crypto world. If we can now generate films through crypto, it's going to be a revelation. And I don't know why anyone hasn't done it yet. That's the real reason this idea took fire with me. And when I really looked into it, talked to some of my contacts in Hollywood, there is absolutely no reason we can't begin this now if we organize this carefully. And again, we don't give financial advice, right? But this can change independent film in Hollywood, and has also the option of co-producing with studios. Some of my friends at the studios. My films are people best known. You said The Mask, Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson, Collateral with Tom Cruise. These are films I've directed or produced, and I got my start in indie films doing Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So I've done a range of things, and at A Nation Media we will produce a range of films at different budgets.
That's amazing. That's an amazing roster of films as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So it was why did you choose Binance Smart Chain? I guess I'll ask that to you, Cade. What was your choice for BSC on the?
Well, I wanted to use a system that I knew that most people can get their hands on. Ethereum is just too expensive with the transaction fee. But, with the Binance Smart Chain, there's been, a lot of issue with pump and dumps and whatnot, and people coming in purposely knowing that they go into a project and they get into the private sale and they hop in and they hop out right away. But we went to Binance because of the simplicity of it, and that it's a fork essentially off of Ethereum. So everything that works on Ethereum coding wise works on Binance. And I just really know the Solidity programming. So I really got into it. I dove into it, and then I got my mind into it. I understood what the potential was. So I wanted to use that as a platform to spread out and become our own thing. Like we're not going to stay on the Binance, but we are utilizing it to the best and showing essentially fixing issues with trusting that there are projects on Binance that can be good,
Right, and I definitely agree with you, and we are primarily Binance Smart Chain over here. We've explored other chains as well, as far as and we support other projects on plenty of other chains. But I just wanted to ask your personal opinion, and I appreciate that, and I stand right beside you. Very valid reasons of choosing that. Fast transactions, lower fees than Ethereum for sure. Yep. I think that it definitely opens up a wide variety of it. Now,
may I back up and just say one thing? Because to me, this is mind blowing. This hasn't been done before. We are a tokenized film production company. We're a tokenized media company. We'll also do streaming television, NFTs, the whole range of things that I've already done, except for the NFTs. And the value that I find so amazing, every time we even announce a new film or announce the casting for a new film, I assume the token will gain value. That's kind of the way the crypto world works. We work through the most positive kind of hype. My whole career, I've had to make movies we can hype, and I've had to live up to the hype. And I'm proud and happy to give audiences what they anticipate or better. And the same thing will happen with A Nation Media. And with A Nation tokens, we'll live up to that hype. And we are going to we have an amazing community already, an unbelievably tight community that Cade's developed, where we got people texting in their day jobs. It's just a really great group. We want holders that want to grow with our company. So that's the first part of the concept that I love, is we will include social media as we even develop our films, let alone shoot our films, where our A Nation community will be able to view what we do step by step. Kate, have I explained it correctly?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big, huge community part for us, and that we want the community involved in every aspect that we can get them into. And like even right now, with everything that's going on, I think it's only, really making the community stronger. And through things that occur, like, when you have tribulation, that's how you really see what people are made of, and even what you're made of. And then that allows other people to see your capabilities of when things get tough. Will he be able to handle the pressure and be able to walk us through it if he's going to be leading a project like this,
And let me just hype Cade for a second, as I'm talking about my own films. Cade is a savant in the crypto world, made his own personal fortune, which is one of the reasons that I trust him. I trust him because we work together, and we are in the business right now. This isn't some dream. This is real. I just finished directing a $20 million film Cade is one of my stars. He's an unbelievable martial artist, an amazing character in our story. And he happens to be a crypto genius. I'll just flat out say it. He's a little too humble about that. Our developers are learning from Cade. Okay, that's why he's the guy who stays up all night, make sure everything is running beautifully.
Yeah, Mr. Russell, like you said, you guys are you're pioneers here, and you're creating something incredibly new. I think that it was a good match. It seems like that Mr. Vu's got everything under control with the blockchain side, and that's great. And from crypto guys, you have my support there. Hats off, good job. Everything looks like you have a great community going on. But
can I just say shout out to our community guys. This is a combination of a film crew and an audience. That's why we love them. That's why we love that they're holders. And Cade's in constant touch, but I'm constantly watching myself. And I just got to say shout out. I love you folks. Brave men and women, inventive men and women, and some hardcore crypto people.
Seriously. Yeah, some hardcore.
For sure. And as far as you guys, I guess we'll move on to a little bit further the marketing side there. People just tuning in, anybody looking on the outside in, shitcoin is a playful name for us, and you guys are not a shitcoin. I just wanted to point that out. Very legitimate project, and that's what we thrive on, and all of our AMAs focus on legitimate projects.
Community buzzword, right? Everyone talks about shitcoins on the BSC.
That's right, and it rolled off the tongue a lot easier. It's a shitcoin factory. Why not? So, but definitely no offense to you guys. So I see you've got a huge roadmap and a lot of stuff that are offered. And like you said, it's not just a pipe dream. A lot of these themes seem to be in full effect, or can easily be in full effect. That are coming up. I see, the NFTs, a launch pad, and even a possibly, your own blockchain. I looked at all of that in the white paper. But I was going to ask, are there any other names of people that are currently partnered with the project, or any plans on inviting anyone else along the way?
Yes, we're staying lean and mean for a couple of very smart reasons. If I do a large studio production, I may make less money in the profit side, in the net profits, than I do making an independent film. Because an independent film, which is the style we are recreating, there's no overhead, very little overhead. It's studio accounting systems are well known for being complicated. The transparency of crypto and the blockchain is going to be a huge advantage to us. So it's just Cade and I until I start onboarding other producers and directors. The movie I just finished, I want to be very clear, that's not an A Nation movie. I just finished it. We just came up with this idea recently, and we're getting it set up in what Cade calls crypto time, which I'm delighted about. But our next projects, I will be looking for things that I specifically direct, but I'll be executive producing all of them with Cade, and we'll be onboarding other names, some known names as far as the directors and producers, some new talent. That's the fun of independent film, and the fun of being parallel to the studio system is I don't have a bureaucracy. We can bring on new talented people, new actors, which is what I've done my whole career. Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz had never acted before in The Mask. Dwayne Johnson, Scorpion King was his first feature. When you look at my resume, I've worked with a lot of stars, but I've actually helped create some of their careers. That's the fun of a new media company that's parallel to the studio system.
Can I just chime in there and tell you personally, thank you for bringing Cameron Diaz to the world for us. I'm sorry, I had to tell you that, but thank you for that. We definitely appreciated that as well. But so is there a possibility of any future product placement? Maybe the A Nation logo sneaking into a film here and there or something. Is there any possibility of that?
I wouldn't insult our audience with it. A Nation will be at the front of the film, whether it's a co-production or whether it's something that is entirely something where we did the equity ourselves. And we will be looking for co-productions. Studios are always looking for equity too. You don't hear about it, but they're very happy if we come in with an equity portion of the film. So we're not trying to I hope we get the whole industry eventually onto crypto. That'd be fantastic. But we can turn, as we all know, crypto can be changed into fiat money too. So while we're giving value to our coin, we hope to turn Hollywood onto crypto in general, step by step in a practical way, and starting very soon.
That's the key thing. Like, I want people to know that we're walking in and we're doing something that's never been done before. Essentially, we're not a crypto project. We're a film production company that is using crypto to help fund the films that we're creating. And then we're bringing and we're merging it together. So we're a hybrid system. And slowly but surely, our full, plan out or roadmap is to get everything on the blockchain, use all of its amazing advantages to be able to surround every single project and or ecosystem there is. But it's time, it's process, it's building the power behind the community, by the media, by the people. This is the best way I can say it is like a turbocharger. We're just spooling up. Just give it some time, and then the pop's gonna blow, and we're just gonna go. There's no reason for us, for what we're doing, especially with this man's career, that is not an if, not a but, not theoretical like every single crypto out there. It's a fact of proof of work that he's developed all these things, he's created it. And the only thing that we're proving is, can crypto partially fund a film? Just think about that. We all sit in the theaters, A Nation holders, seeing the coin, the token, the logo come up on the screen. It's over.
Put it like that. It started. It's not over. It's gonna.
Yeah.
It will go like wildfire, in my opinion, through Hollywood as another tool to get films made, and as a greater tool for originality for filmmakers.
And you have to think about, I guess, Hollywood as like a whole thing, right? Chuck is a visionary in his own right, as you guys full well know, yeah. And the problem with like typical Hollywood sort of standards is there's a lot of bureaucracy involved, a lot of red tape, a lot of hoops you have to jump through, right? But like doing a film production company decentralized on the blockchain eliminates so much more of that red tape, and gives Chuck effectively free reign to be more of a visionary than he ever has been. So for the project as a whole, it's it's a really good thing.
That's the point of Joe saying that right there. The priority is creativity. We really want to allow people to be able to explore and expand their creativity. And that is tied to what? Like the things that we love. Like if you can do something you love, like everything else will come with it. Like you can't argue that, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we will be working. Our goal is working hand in hand with some of the studios I've worked for in the past, and even presently working for. But I'd like just to make a great example. Best Picture Oscar this year was Coda, an entirely independently made film without going through the studio system at all, at a fraction the cost of studio movies. That's just one of the things we hope to do, is independent level films. I believe there was a gal who was a brand new filmmaker, wonderfully creative lady. And we hope to make opportunities for people like her, as well as larger genre films that I'm known for.
The time span for us to create from creation to essentially landing on the theater is going to be significantly shorter than with big studios or anything that has big ties and to everything else that they have, the red tape they have to deal with, the bureaucracy, the accepting. Oh, you have to go to 5 different people to say all agree. Oh, we'll do that film. We go to our people, and we go, and just like the community knows right now, I get their opinion.
It's such a great symbiotic relationship. There are companies right now making a lot of money selling data to Hollywood.
Yeah,
it's crazy. We want to use our community to bounce off of. We don't want your data. We want your opinion. So we'll have ways of having just our community not only get the entertainment value in seeing Kate and I go through this process, starting with our stunt rehearsals and things on these shows, but we'll be getting feedback on which of our ideas are the most positive, and we will have an incubator, because I want to encourage new filmmakers. So that's as we grow. We won't start with an incubator. We got to start with a first production that is influenced by crypto, that is risen up by crypto, and as we grow, we'll have an incubator to bring on board new filmmakers too.
Anyone could have like focus group, right, in corporations of maybe like a dozen people. But why not ask your very community that's funding your movies, right? And that could be the best part of hundreds or thousands of people, So what better way to really structure a film or whatever it is you want to achieve than the feedback of your very community that's effectively investing in your movie, right?
Yeah.
And Kate, have you talked about the net profit? That is another way. The concept here is that 5% of the net profits will be rewarded back to the community through the equivalent in Kate, what is it? The equivalent in
BUSD.
What? Thank you, BUSD.
Yeah, which is pegged 1-to-1. So you're going to get BUSD reward equivalent to the net profits from our films that we're doing. But here's the key thing: you guys have to remember, net profits. It doesn't mean that we can take other people's net profit if we're collaborating with them. It's our part that we put in, and that will be transparent when we let you guys know what's the finale. And again, it's going back to a hybrid system. And there's people that are going to be FUD, and they're going to be like, "Oh, but how much did you put in? Well, how do we know that?" But
Kate, don't do our own FUDding.
So the point is that we will show, and then whatever percentage we put in. For example, we're collabing with them with 50%. If we're 50% and there's a net profit, and you see that, guess what? Then it's 50% of that, and we're going to take that and return to the holders. Now, if there's two people that both hold 100 million tokens, right, and the one person have held it for 5 months, the other person held it for 1 month, who should be rewarded more? It should be the person for 5 months.
It'll be carefully controlled. This is just one way that I'm very excited about, where we can create value for the holders, value for the token, while we run a successful media company. That's our goal.
Well, it's an exciting goal, and I think it's real obtainable considering the background, between the team that's here and the future that's laid out for it. I think it's definitely exciting. So
I think, Shilly, Joe, I do want to say this, and people don't realize like how big this is for a lot of people. Like our community, our holders, they're gonna improve in their financial wealth through being part of this project, because as we grow, they grow, right? Their pockets get bigger. But the point is, we didn't even go into the point of our film side when we're gonna be hiring hundreds of thousands of people, and they're working for us year on year in, year out, and that's their livelihood. And we will become the ultimate case study. Why? When we board all these people onto the crypto, and we could even give them, say for example, like, hey, if you want to, we'll give you 10% more if you use our token as your payroll as payroll. And then we start building a system to show people that you can get paid on the blockchain, transparency, but your privacy is still protected on there. Everything is leveled out. You get on set, your information is stated, but just enough so you can clear the outside to be able to get in. But then you get to a different section that's more important, then more information is stated when it's scanned, because the blockchain with the smart contract can do it. It can trigger more information that's needed as you go through and process through, for example, a whole entire ecosystem. So what we're doing, we truly see like decades down the road of where we want to go. We don't want to be just a company that is a film company. We're a media company that wants to pull everything in its entirety inside and show all this free world what the blockchain can do.
I think, Mr. Russell, I think you're muted. I think he's muted.
You're muted. I think you're muted, Buck.
There we go. Yep. How about that? Mm-hmm. Have we mentioned the NFTs enough between the different ways of increasing value? That's a big deal. Normally, when we sign our leading actors, we sign the rights to use their image, and we'll certainly adding NFTs. We may tie NFTs into key props. These are other things that will benefit our community and the value of the token holders. So we don't want people coming in and flipping. That's cool with crypto, but that's not the game we're playing. Hang with us. We hope to start with 3 films a year, one of mine, and I hope we onboard some other people. We'll take a while to get up to speed, and we may increase our umbrella to other producers. We're certainly going to have other directors, and we hope to grow with this community. So I hope people that flip will regret it, they think they will, but that's why we're so tight with our community. We want them to hang with us. We want them to be involved in our films and in a very real way.
Well, your chart certainly is.
Sorry, Shilon.
I was just saying your chart certainly is beautiful and shows that the level of marketing, and this is probably where you were fixing to head on this, Joe, is but the way that you guys are marketing it is certainly community oriented and is going at the right pace. I just wanted to, once again, I know I said that earlier, but you guys haven't paid any massive pump and dump influencers or any of that junk that goes on, and we appreciate that.
I won't.
Yeah, and I
won't.
We don't either. So
we
believe with you on that.
Grassroots all the way. I don't need to recreate the studio system with whales that can affect our community.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Joe. You had something.
I declined. Yeah, go on, Joe.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a saying in the crypto community: sellers get wrecked, right? So we've got a project here with great fundamentals. The foundations are strong. Look, we've got Chuck here with us. As a leading face for the project. How could you not be bullish with a man with a resume like that, with building great fundamentals like what we've got here?
Thank you, Joe.
100%, definitely with you.
I had a
that's the key thing is like, yeah, go ahead.
I just had a question about basically the studio. Is it going to be like a certain genre that you guys are going to be aiming for, or
it's really
what's
can
your
I answer that, Kate?
criteria? I guess.
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay. Originally, as my directing career blossomed, my agent was complaining, I got to stick to one genre. I've done horror, I've done thriller, I've done comedy, fantasy. I've yet to get a science fiction done. We'll be doing all genres. We're going to be very wise. I've managed millions of dollars as a producer and executive producer, been responsible for it as a director. We're going to start, to some extent, conservatively doing great smaller films, pictures that are from $8 to $12 million, and will graduate up into $25 and $100 million in success on bigger projects. But what we do as an independent, the money will be on the screen. So what we do at a certain budget level, you'll be very surprised at the production values we can do as an independent that's influenced by our crypto community. So the answer is yes, many genres.
And Chuck talks a lot about obviously the money aspect, right, and how much a movie costs, right? And we talk about being lean and mean and things of that nature, yeah. So what you need to appreciate is the Mask back in the day grossed in excess of 300 million,
350, I believe,
350 million, give or take.
Like 11.
They covered the budget.
7 million CGI.
It was an 18 picture gang, and I had 11 million to actually make it with, and 7 million went to CGI. People think that was a $100 million budget, even back in the 90s. No, it was not. This is one of the examples I'm proudest of putting the money on the screen. That's what we say in independent film. New Line Cinema was still an independent company at that time. It went on to become part of Warner Brothers.
Can I say something? Take
it, Kate.
This is the coolest part of all. Right? This excites me more than anything else, and you guys have no clue. You guys watch The Matrix, you guys see the bubble, like the spin around, blah, this and that. And like, oh man, that's never been seen before. I'll tell you right now, this man right here, what we're going to do with R&D, we're going to be creating things that it's going to blow people's mind. Because you guys know me, I'm like a math science freak.
There's new tech that will go great with a couple of the science fiction projects we're looking forward to doing. The Mask was a new use of CGI at the time. And honestly, it reminds me of what's happening right now today with crypto. There's nothing more exciting for a filmmaker to be on an edge of something new. This is legit something new. It's win-win-win. I'm talking about Hollywood. I'm talking about the token. I'm talking about the audiences. We're going to take things without the typical bureaucratic restrictions. And what Kate's talking about is the research and development I need for new visuals. And some of the best CGI companies would be involved, and will go perhaps even beyond what you call CGI. We'll see. So that's the fun. I get the freedom to try those things.